I tell them, no, I'm reading in black and white. It's benefit for you when it's you doing it, but let me do it. It's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So when a person saying, like when you said they're enslaved, I think when I say enslaved, I think that the Navy had us slaves because they put all the
Damn.
blacks. No,
But you
I'm gonna
doing
be
that
sure if you
willingly.
doing it,
When you doing the
they will.
Navy,
But
was
let me.
you forced? If you weren't drafted in, you weren't
No, no, no,
enslaved.
no, 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 no. Hold on.
What the
No,
heck?
I didn't say that. I'm talking about when we got to that command over there. They put all the blacks on one shift, all the blacks, right? Work the hell out of us. No rewards, no nothing. Very few, and it believe me, it was a lot of young brothers. He'll tell you that deserved it. But I don't call us a slave at that time. I just used to tell them we ain't no Hebrew slave. You're gonna treat us like you treat everybody else, and that was my biggest problem is that I looked at it, my view was different. Like I told him, my view was different from the military than a lot of those guys was because I was already experienced with the mentality of I wasn't 18 when I came in.
Hmm.
So I had already been dealing with people like this before. So when you run into people and they say, "Oh, she got a bad mouth," or she hard headed, or we're gonna pass her up for promotion, all because she stand her ground. No. So back then, even with the situation with today's society, where people say, "Oh man, they passed me up for a job promotion," I'm not gonna use that word because you was black. But guess what? If you're sitting at the table and you're the only one of our color and you don't get it just as well as you equally qualified or better than some, it's just what it is. I mean, it ain't no if and buts about it. People look at me, they look at me like, and I'm not trying to be. I walk around all day, sweats mean just a t-shirt, shorts, and a pair of Air Maxes on. That's my. I don't wear like jeans, shorts unless I'm going somewhere. Not take that back. Like I'm dressing up, going somewhere. But every day. But when I go to my son's school, I change my appearance. So when they talk to me, I let them know, hey, I'm not the average parent that get the word two and two mixed up. There and there mixed up. I know the difference because
Why?
they look at you already and say, you know what? You don't know what you don't know what you're doing, or like you
Okay,
doing
but if
hair
they
right
look at you,
now.
but hold on, let me stop you. If they look at you like you don't know what you're doing, does that mean you don't know what you're doing? Well, why do you got to change how you dress or whatever when you go to your son's school and stuff like that?
No, because when I no, I'm not wearing. I'm not wearing. No, I'm not getting in no suit and tie going to his school. But I'm not gonna wear my everyday like gym clothes into the school. That's just me.
Well, and now my question
Why
is,
does it make
I
a
understand you
difference?
said that. My question is, why? Why do you feel? I'm not saying you're uncomfortable with what you wear, but if you comfortable, you wearing basketball shorts, a t-shirt, or whatever. Why do you feel you gotta dress a different
When
way
I
or talk a different way when you go to their school?
no, it ain't. I gotta dress a different way. It's just like if I'm going to his school, I will put on a pair of jeans or a shirt or something.
I'm
I
saying,
just
what you
don't go in
going
there.
up there for? Just to pick them up, or you going to a parent teacher
No,
conference?
no. I'm very active at my son's school, like at least 3 times a week,
All
with
right.
different varieties of stuff, with the teacher, parent teachers, and just all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very active up there at the school. So one, they already look at you as in, oh, here he come looking like a bomb coming up in here. To me, I don't feel like a bomb, but this is my comfortable clothes.
But why do you
But
feel that they feel that way about you? That's the part that I'm not kind of comprehending
why do
because
you think I?
why do you feel that they automatically see you that way if they don't have a reason? Because I think that's another big issue that we have as Black people. Everything isn't a stereotype. Everything isn't because you're
Well,
coming up
but listen, well, I'm gonna tell you this. From the
basketball.
town I'm in, I know 17,000 people right here. 17,000 people right here, and the majority. I'm the only one in my graduating class in 1992, only black male that has completed graduate school.
Okay, can I
But
ask you a
all
question? I
these,
got a question when you're ready. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
My question is this, and listen real close to the question here. Let's say you walk in wearing something that you describe as them looking at you like a bum, right?
Uh-huh.
What does that really change? If you walk into your son's school dressed in what they would describe as a bum, is that going to change what you came there to do or accomplish? Like, why are you worried about that? Like, are they going to give your son bad
Okay.
grades? Like, what you know, what is
When
the
I talk
result
to
of that?
no, because a lot of kids that see me, they know me as coach, right? So when I come to their school and I talk to these kids about their appearance, I can't be looking a mess and talking to them about make sure you got proper, you're walking around with your pants hanging down, walk around dirty looking. I can't have that kind of conversation. And then I'm the opposite. I'm not saying that's the way I look. No, I don't sag my pants. And no, I'm not a dirty person. But what I'm saying is when you talking to some kids, they looking at you like, who is he to tell us not to do this when he go into a meeting or not to do that? And when he got it on. I mean, I've been to interviews with the school board, like I go to our school board meetings. People come in there, different color people, not just us. They come in there looking to toe up from the floor with they rag on their head, they bonnet cap on, house shoes on. But at some point, then they wonder why people like looking at them like they crazy. You who comes to a student board meeting with
I don't agree with that
house
because
shoes
I
All
on?
don't
right.
look. I go up in my daughter's school. Not to say that I do that on regular, but if something happens, because there was one
Okay,
time where
keyword, keyword. If something happens,
I'm telling you, based on what you just said, based on appearance,
if
and I
we
don't even
had
know
a
how to do
student board meeting, you better not come in there with no damn bonnet and no shower shoes on.
Hold on, let me
Come
do a
on,
sound.
man.
Hold on, Corey. Let me do a sound check real quick. Mic check. I need to test my own microphone. That should be enough, though. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is based on, and I hear you. You've gone like a whole couple of different ways with what you're saying. I don't even know how we got on this topic. However,
I don't
comma,
know neither.
I don't think that ultimately, if I choose to run up out of here right now and I have my bonnet on like this and have on, look, I got on
Hold
pajamas.
on, Corey. Let me
I'm
do a
Wonder
sound check
Woman
real
with
quick. Mic
Batman
check.
and all that. Like, if you are intelligent and you speak on what the hell you're there for, your appearance it matters to an extent, but you can't say that everybody is categorized based on your appearance because you got white folks that walk up and do the same damn thing and look at a mess.
I said any
Whatever else.
color. I said any color. I didn't
Okay.
say just us. I said any color for people.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
I'm a little bit confused with this conversation, so I'm gonna digress because I don't even know how we got here.
Well, we got here because, like I said, now I wasn't able to readdress what Courtney said. Like I
All right.
said, he's seen as coach, and he holds more of a standard. By the way, welcome to the live stream, Ernest. He holds more of a standard and stuff like that at the Sun School. I'm talking more in general as to just a parent that goes to the school. My question, is addressing how he said, he makes sure he wears certain things, stuff like that. But he stated his reason. He's saying that one of his reasons is because he talks to other students and he is tries to get them to, help their appearance and how they carry themselves and stuff like that. Well, my question basis is why were you worried about another
Right.
person,
What they think.
specifically to think, the employees at the school or whatever, how does that change whatever it is you came to school for? But he obviously stated he had other reasons, and I respect that. It's just like I said, and this get me sometimes because I hear people, you hear people, your friends, you ever hear your friends like you talking to them, kind of like how I'm talking to right now, like it's nothing special about my voice. I'm being me, but then they'll get on the phone with AT&T.
And
Oh,
they go to a whole different person.
yeah. Can I get
Yeah.
that? It's like
Yeah.
what he and I just was talking to you like this right here, and then I get on the phone and like, why do people do that?
My business voice is different. My work voice and my business voice is
So
different.
what's the difference though?
Why do you have to have a business voice with
Yeah,
AT
well,
and
you gotta
T?
have a business voice and a
Why
work
why
voice.
do you have to have a business voice with a company that works for you?
I'm trying to
Okay,
tell
go
you.
ahead.
So it's just like I'm sitting here, I'm relaxed, I'm kicking it with y'all, we shooting the shit, whatever. When I'm talking at work, I
That's
have a
not what I
different work.
asked, but okay.
I hear you. I'm just comparing. Like I have a work voice, I have my business voice. When I'm talking about stuff that is more serious, my tone changes a little bit. I'm not saying I'm not the same person. I'm the same, but my approach is a bit different because I'm gonna need for you to comprehend and understand. You're a business person. I'm a business person. If we're talking business, if I'm just talking to Slim, talking about yeah, motherfucker, we on the chat, that's different. But if I'm talking about my money, if I'm talking about my children, if I'm talking about stuff that's more business oriented, my tone is gonna be a little different. And it's gonna be a little bit more structured. And I'm gonna like how I cut you off and shit on here because this is like more. This is I ain't gonna say it's for fun. I mean I take it seriously, but this is a different type of form. Whereas I might let the other person on the other end say what they need to say, so I can be like, okay, sir, this is what I think, and da da da. Like my tone is gonna just be different because it's a different platform. It's a different atmosphere. It's not the same. So it don't mean you fronting or you trying to be different. It's just you talking a different. Like I'm not gonna talk to you the same way I talk to my supervisor at work. I'm not gonna talk to you the same way I talk to a chief or a team chief or a fucking officer, my LDO, my SECO, whatever. Like I'm gonna talk for the environment that I'm in, but I'm still the same person, and I will snap and be me if it comes to it. So
Now that you said all that, can you answer what I said talking about my question? Because that's all good information. Now hold on, my daughter needs something. Yeah, my statement was about AT&T or I'm not talking about at work. I'm not talking about when you're trying to negotiate a contract or a deal or something like that. I'm talking about how your friends will get on the phone, with AT&T, or they'll be calling Best Buy to ask if their parts in or something like that. They switch it straight up, and I'm like, why y'all do? Why you need to do that? And even if you're working a contract, what's the difference in me talking how I'm talking to you right now and me trying to have this extra, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that could be used as a perception to, and people in the live chat, we on YouTube, by the way, they're saying, hey, I change at work too. I respect that. I'm not saying that. And then somebody else is saying, my life is my business, but I love to share. If you're around, we cool. Okay, great.
I can't speak for anyone else.
Not asking you to.
But what I'm saying is I feel like what I said on my behalf answers your question. Like I changed my tone. I might be talking to you 1 minute, my phone rang and it's work. Now I'm in my one, so
I
it's
didn't
like,
ask
yeah.
about work. Didn't ask about work.
Okay, so Best Buy calls
AT&T,
me.
Best Buy, yeah.
Best Buy calls me and say, hey, your computer is ready. Well, honestly, I probably ain't gonna change your
Okay,
Best Buy.
AT&T, you got a problem with your bill.
Even AT&T, like honestly, they're probably gonna get the same voice. They're gonna get the okay, is my stuff ready? I might not be cussing or whatever. I'm gonna try to maintain professionalism because that's not my homeboy. That's not I don't know that person. But I'll be like, okay, my computer's ready. Okay, what time should I pick it up? I appreciate it. Thank you. Which I say that to anybody.
All right, your child's school.
My child's school, even still. Like I'm very active in well now ain't no school shit. So it had to be but before we left Georgia, then I had her teacher's cell phone number, and I talked to her almost like I talked to you, but not the cursing. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna still present myself like you're not my friend. I'm not gonna be just wide open with your ass, but I would talk to her like, oh well, if Gabrielle's cutting up, let me know, or what's going on with her, or change her seat, or what like we had several conversations where it was Alicia. It wasn't no, oh let me put on like they knew who the fuck I was on the and on the vice versa. If she wasn't doing her part, which this teacher I never had a problem with, her old teacher in Virginia I had an issue with, so she knew, and she's like, oh shit, she don't play about her, so let me make sure. And I didn't have to cuss her out or none of that, but that's one. Like I guess the difference is like my tone. I'm more aggressive. Like and that's probably sound fucked up, but with my friends, I feel like I could be more aggressive and straightforward. Like, fuck you piss me off. Da, 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 da. Like I'm a pound it in there. Whereas, cause then I don't feel like you're gonna take any harm because you're my friend. You care about my feelings. I care about your feelings, vice versa. But if I'm dealing with a stranger on the street, they're not gonna be as receptive to that type of attitude because they don't know me. They don't know that it's just how I talk. They feel like, oh, but you're being combative, you're being aggressive. I don't know you like that, lady. You're crazy. So I still I'm guarded. I'm gonna be careful with my word usage. And then I don't want to sound like a fucking dumbass. Like I'm gonna let them know, like, look, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like I'm not stupid. My vocabulary is not limited to curse words and ratchetness and whatever else. I can be that, but I can talk to you because you're my child's teacher or you're AT&T or you whoever. I don't have to be that. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Okay, Ernest, you on the mic?
Yeah, I'm here.
But when you're done, when you're done giving that explanation, how you change your voices, that's why I changed my clothes.
Okay, there it is.
That's why I changed my clothes, because I can't see you. I mean, not nothing against you. No, don't say that, Lisa, because I can hear it in your voice. You can get going. Nothing personal, baby. Nothing personal. But I'm just saying.
James Doe in the chat said, talk to people on the street about the weather, maybe. I'm not sure what he means, but yeah. All right, so Ernest, let me give you the introductory questionnaire so far. We barely even scraped the surface tonight. So basically
right?
we just went through about 3-4 topics right there. So okay, so Ernest, do you believe in witchcraft?
You said, do I what?
Believe in witchcraft?
I don't think that it does. I guess you could say I do. It's not my personal belief, but
well, I'm just saying, do you believe that? And in what context do you believe that witchcraft is, you know what I'm saying? Like, in what context are you believing, feeling, or understanding about it?
I just believe in their spirituality concepts. I don't really partake, or even, it's hard for me to wrap my head around like them casting spells and shit like that. But as far as like just their concepts of spirituality and stuff, I do think that's a thing, and it's understandable, why some may believe that.
Okay, and when you get on the phone with people that you either don't know or whatever the case may be, do you change your voice, or you feel like you change up, like, you know what I'm saying, your mannerisms? And if so, then why?
Yeah, I definitely do, and it's just
because you fake. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Now it's a party. It's just a professionalism thing for me. Like if I'm dealing with any sort of business with someone, I just it's like a switch. You turn on and off the professional switch. I guess I came in where you were saying something. Now I know what you were talking about. If me and you are on the phone talking just about whatever, it's not going to be the same as if I'm on the phone with a job interviewer, or
y'all going to the extreme with this. I'm not okay. Let me give y'all some examples, so not to cut you off, but like, okay, I've seen people simply pull up, and like I said, I know you're not gonna talk to everybody like they're your best friend, but I've seen people just talking normal, not even really in, because how you talk with your homies and you get a lot different. I'm just talking just normal, like how I'm talking right now. Right now, I'm literally just speaking normal, right? There's nothing, don't have no deep slang. I'm not using a bunch of slang words. I'm just speaking normal, right? But I've seen people speak just like how I'm talking now, and then they pull up somewhere and ask somebody for directions, and just by them asking them for directions, they whole mannerism change. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, you wouldn't happen to know where I can get some tea? Like what? Why'd you switch? Why did your mannerism switch up so much? You know what I'm saying? When you're around strangers that you don't know, versus you being able to be natural in your conversation, is really what my question is. I'm not talking about job interviews and all this. Okay, I'm talking about just you. Everybody here, I'm sure, has seen somebody completely switch up their mannerisms based on a change in person, in the person that they're talking to. That's what I'm addressing.
I think for some, it's just a manners thing. Even though it's not a professional setting per se in that situation, them not knowing them, it's just to, vibe them out, and get to know them first.
Yeah, okay. Let me see here.
Did you change your hair?
You just been gone for a while.
Oh, okay.
I told you.
I'm sorry, that's all I could think about when he was talking.
What'd you say, Courtney? You breaking up?
Like right here. Like, I understand what you're saying. I've been on. I agree with that.
Can y'all hear him?
No.
No.
You breaking up, bruh. Your mic. You're on that Obama phone again. All right, let me read some comments out the chat real quick from YouTube. We got James Doe in the chat. Hold on, Courtney. Courtney, you have some audio issues. I hear you still trying to come through. So we're gonna let your signal strengthen up. Your video is also frozen, if you can hear me.
Mute him.
Well, Maria, the moderator, has said to mute him, so I'm gonna mute him just so he knows what's going on. It won't even let me mute him. Oh, he disconnected. He'll be back. He just probably had a port. There you go. He having some signal issues. James Doe in the chat says, yeah, you're right. I need to go home in a couple of minutes to my apartment, but my mind is telling me I should write in the chat. I need to bounce to my other crib.
I won't got money. I won't got money because I know somebody else need money. I know somebody else need money.
We might have to mute him. I don't want him to expose himself. It's not even letting me mute. Oh, there we go. Okay, I muted him so he don't expose his indebtedness.
I was like, what? I think he's doing a drug deal.
He gonna expose his street life. Devontae, welcome to the stream. You on the mic?
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
Levante, I want to see your face tonight.
Yeah, we want to see your face. Stop being
I
scared.
just woke up.
Maria came on here with a whole mask on. You could jump on this
stream.
stream.
Your eye boogers.
Oh,
I want to see your morning breath. Your
This
eye
the Truce
boogers.
Show. We all fam. We all welcome here.
I
Come
ain't
on.
seen your face in a couple weeks.
We live
I
on
just see
YouTube. They
your
want to
face.
see.
Mm.
And it sound like your breath stink.
Breath don't stink, but honey, it's a whole ordeal. I took a nap and I woke up and I said, "Oh, Nick."
That's how they get you. Shoot, I've been taking naps and I'm waking up super late. All right, Devontae. So tell us about. There you go. Eye boogers. Tell us about how you feel about witchcraft.
No, you already know.
I don't listen.
I believe it all. Voodoo, hoodoo, paganism, it all. I believe in it.
All right. So, do you think you can cast? Do you think you can cast a spell on somebody?
Yes, I believe your words are very powerful. That's why you should mind what you say. That's why people say, have affirmations and daily mantras, because if you say them every morning or every day, it's embedded in your subconscious and it can come true. So you should.
So basically your description of it is different types of energies or whatever is basically how you see witchcraft, not necessarily.
I mean, go ahead.
I mean, do you because like I said, Hollywood portrays it in certain types of ways too, like mixing up spider eyes and stuff like that, or I mean that's how they portray. That's how it's portrayed in most cases is spells and potions and stuff like that. Huh?
I think it's a combination of look at my nails. I think it's a combination of like you said, I believe energy. I definitely believe it's energy, and I definitely believe it's spirituality. I believe in ancestors. I believe in spirits. I believe in ghosts. And I believe if you have the ability to tap in that, which is very easy, some stuff will happen. This earth is very old, universe is almighty in abundance. And if you allow yourself to go down that wormhole, you may see some things. And even if you don't allow yourself, I think all of us are born with the innate ability to have access to the spiritual world. That's why you hear and see a lot of kids say that they can see things and they can hear things because they haven't been ingrained so much, or should I say, touched so much by society yet. They're in their purest forms. But then as you grow older, some people attach themselves to religion and whatnot. And I think, for a lot of adults, we stray further and further away from what is innate in all human beings. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it witchcraft per se, but yeah, I do believe, like Ernest, I do believe that it exists. I totally 1000%. Yeah.
GX Bitcoin in the chat says, God is almighty. Yeah, and like I said, what about aliens? What about how? Alicia,
yes, hell yeah, aliens exist. I believe aliens exist. For the simple reason that, you know, if you look at ancient civilizations, a lot of them tell the same stories of beings coming from the sky. They've embedded it in, you know, their wall paintings, well, as early as from wall paintings to actual hieroglyphics and whatnot. And these are civilizations that did not exist at the same time. They existed during different times in different parts of the country and the country of the world, and they all tell a similar story. So for me, I do believe that aliens existed even to present day. People are reporting sightings, people are reporting abductions, and I don't think that, you know, people are just waking up like, oh, I'm just gonna say I got abducted by an alien and, you know, got experimented on. I think there is truth to it. So yes, and like I said, the earth is old as hell, universe is abundant as I don't know what. There's scientists say there's more than one universe. So who are we as human beings to say that we are the only beings walking this earth? That I couldn't fathom that. No, so I definitely believe in aliens.
Here's a question for you. And this for everybody on Earth. And I might have asked a couple of y'all this before, but we're gonna see what y'all say now. What do you think is the dominant species on the planet, and why?
Bigfoot, duh.
Okay, your answer is what species is the dominant species on the planet, and tell me why.
I mean, one would say humans, but you know, my special thinking, I would say it would be aliens or other, you know, beings.
Okay, Alicia, what do you think?
Are controlling shit.
I mean, I would like to think that there's something else out there, like Avante said, but from my understanding, like what I know and see on the face value, because that's what I try to, I ain't gonna say limit myself to, but in a question like that, I'm gonna go with what I know. So I'll say humans, but I also believe there's aliens, there's spirits, there's, you know, all of the stuff I said earlier on. I believe it exists, but I think we're the dominant species and we're dumb enough to believe that we're the only ones here, like collectively. You have like people like me and Avante and whoever else in here feel like there's other stuff out there, but the majority will say that they're, you know, aliens, that's a myth. Bigfoot's a myth and all, you know, all the other stuff. Like, I believe that those things exist too. It's just we're here. So
all right, all right. What do you, and Ernest? I'll give you a chance to respond if you want to say something, man. Before
I say dolphins.
You say dolphins. Okay. What about you, Maria?
Wait,
dolphins. Oh.
You say dolphins too? Okay, we got two people saying dolphins.
No. I was just saying. I was like, that was interesting. I was really.
People say why. It's supposed to be why.
That was
well, don't rush my show. I got the moderation part on lock. Okay. Go ahead, Maria.
Yeah, for me, I would say it's humans because that's what I actually think. But I mean, of course, I do believe it's other things that's in the world. So yeah, that's a total different story though. But yeah.
Okay, the same.
What do you mean by dominant? Sorry.
Well, I can Google the definition of dominant for you after the second question. No problem. But the second question is, what do you think is the most important life force on the planet? Anybody can go first. What do you think is the most important life force? In the chat, GX Bitcoin is saying angels is the most dominant. So now we're switching to asking, what is the most important life force?
I say trees, you know, vegetation.
Okay. Well, anybody
water?
else? You saying, is water alive? Is water a life force?
Is it not? I guess I don't know what life force is.
Mute your camera and your microphone.
I just woke up.
God damn. We just had a truce moment. We're gonna give Avante a big fat truce. I do not believe. Now, water does carry some living organisms in it, but I do not believe that water itself is alive. I mean, I could be wrong. Alicia, what do you think is the most important life force on the planet?
The most important, I would say I kind of want to piggyback on what Ernest said with vegetation because we need that to survive. But between vegetation and animals, I don't know. Just because, like, without those, then we wouldn't be able to survive as far as humans.
Okay, so so some people said other than Ernest said dolphins. Avante said a higher form of life, unknown or alien that is not necessarily confirmed. But so Alicia and Maria, I mean, if you feel that humans, huh?
What he said about what he said about dolphins is not the same question.
He said right. He said it was. He said that he felt that dolphins were the most dominant force, and he felt that plants and trees was the most important life force.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Right. Okay. Truce. So why? How come? Like if humans are the most dominant, but not the most important, then how does that play a role? I mean, if we're not even important, if we could basically eliminate all humans and life could still continue to go on, then why do we think that we're the center of all this with religions and God and stuff like that? And why isn't the Bible talking about plants or dolphins as far as being the central thing that all the Almighty Creator has focused his energy on? Has he focused his energy on just what he feels is the most dominant force, or would he focus his energy on what's the most important? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
That's a deep question. I gotta think on that for a second.
All right, Ernest, you want to expand on how you felt about it? I mean, there was a question before about why did you say dolphins? Why do you feel that dolphins are the most dominant?
Because the way they live life, I mean, you will basically never like watch National Geographic and watch a dolphin get hunted ever. They live a carefree lifestyle. They have sex recreationally. They literally get high off of puffer fish. They have they have the most developed brains out of everyone. They have a third portion that even humans don't have. They I don't know, just looking into them and just figuring out and finding out things that they do. They link with whales and sharks from time to time, and like as a huge group, like hunt huge schools of fish. I just feel like they're dominant because they literally do what they want. They play with us humans from time to time. Be on a boat out in the ocean, and they'll come around and play around and then go on about their day. For the most part, unless they're being hunted, of course. But with the minor exclusion of humans hunting them on occasion, I don't think there's any other creature on this planet that is as dominant as them.
Well, they also get hunted by killer whales, and I'm referencing Google from that.
Well, they link with killer whales as well and hunt together.
But they get killed by them sharks too.
Well, what would you need to be considered a dominant force, though? I mean, even intelligence. I mean, we can say that we have internet and stuff like that, and I mean, ants have many different species have intricate ways of communication and technology. If you look at it on different levels, I mean, what do you think is what's some factors that would need a species to be able to be considered the most dominant? I mean, when you talk about dominance, I'm talking about control, top of the food chain. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that come into being a dominant force versus being the most important force.
I just want to say that I Googled is water a life source and it said yes because it has energy particles in there. Okay, I just wanted to just put that out there. Okay. And then when it comes to
look, boo, I wanted to have your back, but I didn't have the scientific backing.
It's fine. That's why I looked it up.
I was tracking what you were saying.
Appreciate it.
I was like, maybe it is because
I appreciate it.
It is a nutrient. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I had to just get my.
So it's a life. So you're saying it's a life force, right?
According to Google, because it has.
Is it a species?
Energy particles in it.
Is it a species?
No.
Okay. So what's the most dominant species on the planet?
But you.
Say lava, motherfucker. Say lava. I dare you say lava.
I said humans because of the way. Oh, not humans. I'm sorry. I said aliens, basically. But I mean, that's why I asked you what your definition of dominant was. You say Uber. So, but you didn't give us an example of what you mean by dominance, like as in numbers, as in quantity, like how many there are. Because if that's the case, then wouldn't it be like bacteria or some shit, or some little microscopic, something that lives within everybody, or we breathe in the air, or are we talking about brain intelligence? Like,
It's up to you guys. It's up to you to answer. I don't have the preset answer to tell you once you get it right. I'm asking your opinion. So you could say organisms, you could say bacteria. There's no I'm getting opinions here. It's not like I have some kind of cheat sheet scorecard here. So as soon as you say it, I'm like ding ding ding, you win, just winner chicken dinner. So if you think it's bacteria, say bacteria. If you think it's dolphins, say dolphins. I just want to get your opinion. Now the definition here, I pulled it up since we're using Google for references. It says dominant. Most important. Oh, I got cut off. Dominant definition: most important, powerful, or influential. So whatever that means, which species is the most important, powerful, or influential? That's the definition of dominance.
I gave my answer.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up. All right, so you saying humans? Okay, that's right. That's all I'm saying.
I said aliens.
Oh, aliens. Okay, all right. So there you go. And you believe that aliens are what? Like, how do you think that they're running humans?
Oh Jesus! I mean,
did you call for Jesus?
I did. That's been ingrained in my family infrastructure. A lot of people in my family believe in that. I was actually raised in the church, so that's.
Is this like one of the things Courtney said about cutting the butt off the hen or whatever?
I wasn't here for that.
Oh, okay, dude, you missed it. But go ahead.
It was a ham.
A ham. That's right. Cutting the butt off the ham. Yeah, okay, all right. I've never heard that.
I was so confused. I was like, huh? And I'm country as hell. That was new for me.
Do you think that ants know about sharks?
I mean, why not?
Because they don't never go in the ocean.
I couldn't confirm or deny that. And as far as you asking me how aliens are involved with humans, I'm a conspiracist, so I think that they're embedded in, like I said, everything from abducting people to our government to world governments. It's a lot. I don't even know. Like,
yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough to conversate a lot about conspiracies, because when you talk about conspiracies, it's very gray area about how to connect facts to actual events. That's why it's so difficult to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked. I was like, in which way do you feel like it's connected to humans? And you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, when you said, do ants know about sharks? I mean, energetically, probably, because they're connected. Ants are connected like sharks to the earth in an energetic way. I mean, ants literally live in the earth. Sharks live in the water. So that's why when like natural catastrophes happen, you see animals move in the same way. Animals that probably wouldn't even per se fuck with each other, that are like predators and prey, they'd be running in the same direction because they know some shit popping off. So
that's called instincts. I feel you on that. The live chat says he's GX Bitcoin is saying he's saying no, and I believe he's saying no to he might have been saying no that ants don't know about sharks. And he said that whole different universe for ants is why he feels probably that they don't know about sharks. But I asked that for a couple different reasons. And, go ahead, finish, respond on what you're saying. You talking about they move in the same way, and if one start running, others start running and stuff like that. I mean, but like I said, you got to think, when a shark wake up, does a shark, what does a shark think? Like, a shark just think, I'm out here, I'm here to bite shit and eat and scare shit. Like, you don't give a fuck about nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you let us know, shark.
I just told you. So you're a sheep and you just got ate up. All right, so goodbye. So, you know what I'm saying?
So whack. Bye.
So, and I'm asking this because, like I said, I always think, like, what species knows about all the other species, though? Like, And you can't even say humans because we've admitted that there are species deep in the ocean that we feel like we haven't discovered yet.
The Amazon, yeah, facts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, if no species knows about all species, then what does that say?
I mean, who's to say that no species that we don't know? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So let me ask y'all this. Does a lion know that he's in an enclosed savanna? Like, does a lion know that he can't get out of the savanna? Like, how come a lion doesn't just travel now? Like, how come it doesn't just cross borders now? Like,
well, doesn't naturally, don't they go by their climate or environment or whatever? Like,
so are they trapped? Are they within some type of border, some type of boundary, whether it's climate or man-made?
well, definitely if it's man-made, I don't think they know they're enclosed per se. I mean, that's good. We had that conversation a while ago. And you had related it to humans and aliens, remember?
Well, yeah, thanks for rushing the conversation, but I want to see what Ernest got to say.
Ew. This is why I don't show my face. And
what does showing your face have anything to do? What does showing your face have anything to do with the conversation?
You embarrass me every time.
Well, you're jumping in on the. You're
just doing this to me. Why do you do this to me? I'm on my period.
Oh my god. Okay. GX Bitcoin says only God, the creator. So he believes in God as the creator. Okay.
I believe we should change the topic.
Okay. So, well, the topic was leading up to the finale, which is, and me and Avante already had this conversation, but there's other people on the show and there's other people that I wanted their opinion on. Basically, I'll go ahead and rush it for you. It's like, does a lion know he's trapped in the savannah? He know he can't travel even if he wanted to. What species is basically either naturally trapped or trapped by another species? Like whether they're trapped by humans or trapped by lions or whatever it is that's keeping them wherever it is they are. So if that's the case and all species are trapped in some way, shape, or form, then how are human beings trapped? What are our boundaries and how come we can't really truly escape them? GX Bitcoin says they love and appreciate everyone's opinions.
We appreciate it too, or theirs too.
You hear that, GX Bitcoin? There you go. What's Ernest? What is some of the human beings' boundaries?
This solar system, as of now.
The solar system is the boundary, or do you think the atmosphere is the boundary?
Well, I mean, we can get in a spaceship, quite literally, and fix all that. Be up in space, playing around on the moon and whatnot.
So you feel that the solar system is the boundary?
As of now, yeah.
Okay, so do you think that all boundaries are controlled or created in some kind of way, shape, or form for a purpose or a reason? Like how lions are naturally bound to the savannah based on their climate?
I don't know what the purpose would be, but I do believe it's natural for every species in every capacity. It's just, it's nature. It's natural. Like,
how come the voice in your head can't get louder?
Who's can't?
Your voice. How come the voice in your head when you speak to yourself can't get any louder than what you want it to?
Is it perception though? I mean, you speak to mentally ill, people, schizophrenics, and or people who say they hear voices and they say they scream and it's loud and I can't go to sleep, and it's like, I think that's perception or subjective per se. You mean like why can't anybody else hear it? I mean, like,
well, it's not that. I'm saying when you speak to yourself in your head and you don't verbally use words, you hear what you perceive as a sound, right? You hear information being transmitted in your own consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. Or do you not know that? Do you not have do you not? Okay, so you say yeah. So why? How come? So how come you can't? You can perceive to seem to have yelled, but you can never really get so loud. Like you can't really make it get louder.
I think that's subjective. I mean,
Okay, for you then.
yeah, for me, sure.
So for you, how come you don't think that you can make your voice inside your head get louder?
I don't, but I think you can.
So you can make you feel like you can make your voice get so loud in your head to where it's too loud for you to withstand it. Have you done that before?
I haven't personally done that, but
that's who I'm asking about. So that's what I'm saying. So you haven't done that.
No.
Why do you think you aren't able to do that?
I think I'm able. I just never really concentrated that or factored that in or saw a need to do that.
Try it now.
It's too much going on. Like that's probably not gonna happen.
Wow. So what do you think, Ernest?
I'm gonna piggyback off her a little bit, but I think it's situational. I do believe there's like I get what you were saying, where you make it so loud where it's just unbearable. I don't think that's a thing. Well, I know I haven't personally done it. I do think it would be dope. Can you imagine a song being in your head and you could just turn it up?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how come you can't really turn it up though?
Oh, I don't get me lying. I don't know that.
Hey, Sandra. I think for me that's again a part of an innate thing we can all do, per se, talk to ourselves in our heads. So I mean, I think as human beings, we've been restricted on what we can do mentally and physically. And so, yeah, I think that's just something that, I mean, I don't know how you would begin to do that. I mean, just think, I don't know. But I do think we all have the ability to do that. I just don't know how you would focus on getting it loud like that.
My voice just talks to me loud and clear.
You like?
Come on, Juan.
I don't think it's meant to get loud.
That's a good point. That might be a good point. Because you also have to remember that we think about sound and loudness or volume as a vibration. Sound is vibration. But the information that you are perceiving in your head when you talk to yourself isn't represented by vibration though. You know what I'm saying? See, when I speak words, they go back into my ear. That sound that is airways that's vibrating to make the sound. Whereas in my head when I'm talking, there is nothing vibrating. There is just energy of thought. I guess being recognized as what I want to turn into vibrations. So maybe it's the perception of sound itself that can't never really get turned up. You know what I'm saying? Or turned down. You know what I'm saying? But
I think it's more so your ability to listen to your inner voice too. But some people suppress it. I mean, if you're, because the conversation, like to someone who's not really in tune with that inner voice, and it sounds kind of crazy. Like if you just walked in on this conversation and didn't even know what was going on, and you're not like a conscious type person, then it might be like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
But if you're not in tune with that inner voice that you're referring to, then the volume of it doesn't even matter if you're like trying to push it away. And I feel like I have like, and it does sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like
oh, here we go.
For real, like that inner voice you're talking about, like your conscience telling you something. Some things for me are louder than others, because some stuff just hit me in the face, like, hey. And it's not often, it's not like, but it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta listen to this, or you gotta respond to this, or you gotta pay attention to this, or whatever it is. Like something's trying to like alert me or whatever. Like my mom always says that I have like a gift or whatever. I mean, I guess everybody's mom say that, but whatever. Like certain stuff I don't ignore because of the loudness and because it's so clear. Mm-hmm. Whereas you have that voice that's just like your day to day. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe da. Then those are like, okay, whatever. You still just kind of do whatever you think. But I have those ones where it's like, pow, right in my face. I can't deny it, and it's loud and clear. and I gotta roll with it. And when I don't, I regret it. So the moderator left. Anybody else hear voices? No. I heard voices. How the damn fast.
I be hearing voices say my name, and I be waking up out my sleep and stuff. Sometimes.
That sounds like a horror film.
I mean, no, I think it's like sometimes I'm dreaming and maybe somebody's talking to me in the dream and it's always my nickname. I've never heard like Avante. It's always like Tay, and it's loud to the point where I'm thinking somebody like downstairs is calling me or something like that. Like it's really weird. Like when I was in LA, I had roommates, so I was thinking like maybe my roommate or something called me, but no, it was always just me alone.
That's not in within my surroundings.
What? Oh, I still hear it. So
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of unexplained activities and potential that we have as humans that, we not all humans are able to I mean, we're able to, but we don't have the ability or don't even think about it. But I do think there are some humans on this earth that, around here like X-Men in full force.
I'm an X-Man.
You a dookie man.
My part, I got waves. Shut up.
No, I got waves. Not you got the life force on your head.
Shut up. All right, so what'd you say, Alicia? Change the subject?
No, she didn't say that. That's what you get for leaving, worst moderator.
Cause I got kids I gotta take care of.
You still left?
I'm talking about all the voices.
Can you put your hand down, Avante? You got your hand raised like you waiting to talk.
I've been had that up.
Well, I'm putting it
down.
down.
Per your rules of the group, and now you don't even follow the rules. So can you put your hand down? No, I can't put it down. You put it down.
You feel better like you told me off? You told somebody off or whatever? You feel better?
I just miss you, friend. That's all.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
Well, fuck off then.
I'm sorry, well, you ain't scaring me. You ain't scaring me, dog.
I'm not trying to scare you.
Okay.
Did y'all eat?
So y'all whooping kids or no?
What? What the hell? What was the question?
Yeah, y'all whooping kids or no? I put a post in the group chat earlier about disciplining kids. And a lot of younger generation or the next generation below us feel that, legally, whooping a child, which is defined by law. I don't know what state y'all are in, but there's actually a definition defined by law of what legally disciplining a child is. Y'all, they feel like that's abuse. What's your fine line between abuse and, what do y'all feel that, physically disciplining a child is the right way to go? Can it be done without that? And keep in mind, is this something that we're responding to just based off of the fact of how we was raised? Goes back to what Courtney was saying about cutting the butt off the goose or whatever.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. But I'll go first and state my opinion.
It was a ham. It wasn't a goose.
Whatever, the eagle, turkey, whatever. It was cutting the booty off. Okay.
I don't know what that was. I didn't even get it because the whole conversation was just never mind.
Look, Courtney said it, not me. All right.
Okay.
So how you feel about that type of discipline? Do you feel?
Okay, so I do think it's like it stems from how we were raised ourselves. For me, I never received a whooping. Never. Like my grandmother raised me, so it was pretty much my grandmother or my dad. The only thing they had to do was pretty much look at me and I would cry and I would get my act together pretty much. We did a lot of time out. We did a lot of, writing what you did wrong to your hands hurt, things like that. Other measurements like holding books in the corner, cooking, had to clean, scrub floors. So it was like punishment was more like that as opposed to, I guess, getting a whipping or what have you. But I don't think it's really abuse if you whip your kids, but I raised all three of my kids the same exact way. Never got a whooping at all. You know, they turned out to be good, thank God. But I felt like it was more so things where I need to say time out, and I would put them in like a timeout chair, and I would make them right, and I would make them do different things like I did the methods that we used to use. So I think that's kind of sort of along the lines of what we do because we were brought up that way. So that's what I did. I didn't go make them pick up no switches, nothing like that, whip them with no extension cords or whatever, those type of things, which I feel like is abuse because I watch my cousins go through stuff like that. But as far as myself, no.
Okay, yeah, I respect that. I respect that. What about you, Alicia?
So I'm a firm believer in spread the rod for the child. However, I'm a little less harsh than how I was raised because my mama beat me all the time for everything. I ain't gonna say like every single day like I was abused. I don't feel like I was abused, but I feel like her solution for 99% of anything I did wrong was to beat my ass. Um, I'm the youngest of 13, same mama, same daddy. And my brothers and sisters say I had it good. So I feel like imagine what the fuck they got. Because I feel like I got beat a lot. So if they got it worse, I'm like, damn. So long story short, with my kids, I spank them when they need it. I spank them when it becomes a repetitive, like they're not understanding if they're doing the same thing over and over again. The youngest one, I might hit his hand, but there was no age limit for my mom. It's like you living, you get your ass beat. But for him, like he's smaller, so I expect him to do shit that
Yeah.
he do. My middle one, he's very stubborn, so he probably gets hit more than my oldest got at his age. So yeah, I do it when it's warranted, but I feel I'm more effective when I take things from them, when I tell them I'm upset with you, I'm mad at you for doing that, you were wrong for that, you made mommy sad, you made me upset. And then that impacts them more because they like, damn, mommy's upset, like she's really mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll act a little bit different. Because I talk to my kids, like, and I'll be like, I'm not talking to you right now because I'm upset with you. And if I do that, it's like, you're not talking to me. So I feel like it's more effective, but I will whoop their ass when needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's one and the same. We don't have to be like the old generation, but we shouldn't have to just. I don't think it's smart to just throw it out. Sometimes kids need their ass beat. I don't do timeout.
So why,
No,
if this is a legal process, if you're doing it, like I said, obviously there's very defined ways of discipline, like you can't hit them in the head and all this stuff like that. Then why do most parents feel like, well, if they are gonna whoop their child, it's like, oh, and they in a public place, like they can't whoop the child in public. How do you feel about that? If you're going about the legal way, then what's the difference there?
the hell out of my kids in public before if I've had to. It's really that middle one. I don't think I've had to do Gabriella like that. And like I said, I really don't hit the little one. If I do hit him, it's like more so smacking his hand, like stop, don't do that. But if I need to check him in public, I'm gonna do it.
And you never had another parent look at you or say something?
Because it's another thing too. Like I do think there's limits. You can't just straight up choke slam and like some parents go overboard to where I feel like that's abuse. Like you can discipline them. I'm gonna hit them on their hind parts, their soft parts. I'm not gonna do anything that can potentially break a bone or like severely injure them. So yeah, sometimes in public, folks I've seen it, and I'm like I've said things like shit. Walmart be that spot.
Like, yeah, they're not gonna have no spot.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Are you saying that Walmart need a disciplinary spot, an area where you can take?
I'm just saying, you know, Walmart is where you see a little bit of anything. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
Walmart is crazy.
I've seen parents like well on their kids, and I feel like that's where you come into abuse. If you can severely damage them, and they have like internal damage, like physically. I ain't talking about mentally, but that's an aspect too.
Mm-hmm.
But you just going completely, oh my god, and they ain't learning nothing. All they know is like mama's beating my ass. Then that's abuse. So there has to be limits. Like I hit hind parts or hands for the little ones, or I'm whooping your ass. When I say ass, I mean ass. I'm not punching you in the chest. I'm not breaking bones and arms and hanging you. That's where it is abuse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into some arguments in Walmart with some folks beating the hell out their kids.
That's what I'm saying. What have y'all seen? Like, I mean, they were just they were just going overboard and going ham, or like what? I mean, what did you say?
Yeah, I was like, is all that necessary? Like, you got to just say, period. Is all that necessary? It's a thin line between, disciplining your child and child abuse. And when it becomes to be a little bit too much, it's like child abuse. I have to let them know, like, look, yo, I'm a mandated reporter. You better chill with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just a bit much right there. And when you see that, and it's just like the child just screaming to the top of their lungs, it's a problem.
Yeah, because I know, like I said, there was a big discussion on Facebook about, what's the difference between abuse and if you have to hit a child in any kind of way, even pop their hand or whatever, that's abuse.
I seen a young lady in Walmart, and she was pretty young, and this was in Virginia, so I give it maybe two years ago or so. So it wasn't like back in the day or nothing like that. Like, it was more recent. And she was pretty young, and then the baby couldn't have been on what, about 2, maybe 3, and she was like literally holding him kind of by his arm. And my thought is like, you can break his fucking arm if nothing else. Like, yeah, he might need his ass beat. He might need a whooping right now. Which to me, I feel like he was too small. But that's just, for me, I know my strength. So with all 3 of mine, when they were a certain size, I ain't doing more than a hand. Just because I don't want to like inadvertently be like, okay, I'm about to whoop your ass and then I hurt you, because your bones, like everything is still fragile. So I feel like you can't just whoop kids when they just tiny. That's just, I don't know. That's like a fear of mine that I may not know my strength, and if I hit them too hard and break a bone, then I got to sit here and try to explain it, and then I'm gonna feel like shit, and then I'm probably not gonna hit them ever again. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
my God.
she holding like by the arm. I can't really demonstrate, but she's like doing it. She hit him on the butt, and I was like, "You can break his arm." And she's like, you ain't gotta wear whatever she. I don't even know what she said, but I know she's popping her neck. She's little young black girl, whatever. And I was like, I'm just telling you, like, it's a way to discipline your child. And you could break his arm the way you hold him up like this. Like, I don't grab a kid by the arm, especially that size. But like, I don't know if y'all can imagine what I'm doing, but the way she just gripping him up on his arm and just holding him, and then she was hitting him on his butt. But I'm like, and he just like damn near twirling around, and you spanking him, and I'm like, shit, what did he do to deserve that? Because he's 2, like 2 or 3. I don't know his age. But whatever he did is some kid shit. Kids do stupid stuff because they're kids. So you gotta, that's why I said I don't really spank them unless it's something repetitive and I feel like they know better, but they just keep doing it because I haven't spanked them or they haven't been punished for it. I'm not.
What do y'all feel about? I've been seeing people post on Facebook talking about at what point, how long before a boyfriend or stepdad or whatever can discipline the kids. How do y'all feel about that? What parameters need to be in place, if any, for that? How do y'all feel about that? Like, I mean, I know you're married, but if you have a previous child, or a boyfriend or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? How long, what's the parameters where you feel like, okay, if he's at the point where he's watching the kids on his own, or he's, teaching them things or whatnot, at what point would it be okay for him to discipline the children? Or the woman, vice versa. Or, if your kids are with their father and the girlfriend or whatever, or the new the stepmother figure in the household, at what point is it okay for the other parent to discipline a child?
I personally don't believe in the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing, because it's another post I commented on the other day that pissed people off. I mean, I feel like if you're married, it's a different story. But this boyfriend girlfriend thing is different. Like, you don't have the luxury to being my spouse or my life partner or whatever you want to call it if we just dating and shacking up and living together. And that's just my old school morals. But if we're married, and all my kids are with my husband, but say my oldest, if she was from a previous or whatever, then once we got married and he's established as the man of the house and he's raising her with me, then that's when, like, if she does anything wrong, which I'm more than disciplinarian though anyway, and that's usually in most black households anyway. Daddies don't spank kids too much. Maybe the boys as they get into their teenage years, and it's more of like whooping their ass, not spanking. When they get into that, they smelling themselves and they hit puberty, then men tend to chastise they young men. But the spanking phase, like the little kid up to
Yeah, that would
adolescence,
be like the mama will come in and do it.
yeah, it's more a mommy. So, but I feel like if you're in a stable relationship, you got married, you're living together. But if it ain't that, like if I chose to shack up with somebody and we're not married and I have a kid, you can't touch my child because we dating.
You don't have
You're
you don't have a legal binding agreement.
But again, I that's why I wouldn't put myself in that situation. But that's why I pissed some people off the other day because I just personally don't believe.
What about
it.
you, Maria? How you feel?
Yeah, see, like if it's a girlfriend boyfriend situation, yeah, I definitely would say no, that wouldn't be the situation because it's still not that serious. It's not a commitment there. Of course, if you marry, then that's a little different. You guys can come if whoever comes to the table with kids, it can be a discussion as far as like what are your disciplinary ways, how do you discipline your kids and things like that. And it has to be a conversation with me personally because it's like, well, I don't want my kids. So since I don't want my kids, the disciplinary would have to be like, we have to talk about this. I use timeout. I use taking this. I use this. I use making sure that they don't get allowance for this. I use those type of things as opposed to whooping them. So it won't be any whooping in my household. But my
or punishment. If he feels like, oh, okay, well, you doing punishment, you going to your room.
Yeah. That's fine. See, I'm like husband. That's fine if we discuss that.
But okay, so a boyfriend couldn't tell your child that they're on punishment.
Hell no, hell no. A boyfriend couldn't tell me shit.
Okay, so if your boyfriend is to the point to where he has trust or whatnot to watch the kids while you're away, he has the children while you're not home. Would you ever be able to get to that point, or you would never be able to get to that point with a boyfriend?
I'll never be able to get to that point with a boyfriend.
Okay, so you would never leave your children with another person unless you was married to them legally. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a babysitter?
But you do know, my kids are now grown, and I have never done that.
I don't know.
I mean, okay. So look, my kids are 21. Both of my boys are 21, and my daughter is 19. Mm-hmm. So I've never left my kids with my boyfriend and just been like out and about chilling, whatever, vacation, anything, never. Because I've never felt that comfortable with leaving my kids.
Yeah. Or like went somebody. To the store or anything. Yeah.
No.
I'm just asking.
I don't even feel comfortable leaving them with family. So at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. But what I was about to say, moving forward, my kid's father got married. And...
That's what I'm saying. What about the girlfriend?
That's what I'm about to get at. That was my standpoint on my side, right?
Okay.
So my kid's father got married. So he got married, and she felt like she needed to discipline my kids. Mind you, she don't discipline her own 7 kids, but she felt like she needed to discipline my kids. So we got into a few arguments about that or whatever because she didn't like my kids because he spent too much time with my kids and things like that. So that's why I have an issue with certain people, especially when it comes to boyfriends and girlfriends and things like that. Although they were married.
See, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so
it was like that before they even established getting married, that she had some resentment to my kids. Mm-hmm. So when my kids started going over there, she felt like she was going to discipline them. And that very first phone call that I got saying that, hey, this is what happened or whatever, not even an hour later, I was on the next flight out. Because that wasn't established. We didn't have him and I didn't have a conversation about it. We weren't going to talk about, hey, okay, now that I'm married, we have disciplinary rules or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell you what to do in your household because that is your household, but those are my kids. Okay. So at the end of the day, it should be a mutual conversation because we're all adults. But my kids don't get no whoopings, and you ain't gonna put your hands on them.
So does that debunk what Alicia's saying by saying the marriage thing? Because apparently the marriage thing doesn't mean anything. it's
I guess it just depends on the actual marriage itself, because everyone is not the same. All marriages aren't the same.
I agree what she's saying to the contrary because I didn't speak on that end of it. So, say for
Mhm.
instance, God forbid me and Doug don't make it, whatever. We have 3 kids together. He gets remarried. Again, what she's saying is a conversation needs to be had. First of all, if this is just a chick you dating, don't put your hands on my kids. Don't even tell them that they can't, don't stop, whatever. You can't tell them shit because you're a girlfriend. If they need to be disciplined, that's when daddy step in and he say, hey, don't do this or whatever. Now, when it comes to the spanking aspect, if they were to get married and this is like your lifelong partner or whatever, and you plan on being with this chick forever, we need to sit down because I'm gonna tell you my stipulations. You're not gonna abuse them. You're not gonna whoop them for every single thing they do. You're not like I don't whoop them just because they say boo. Like, because look, that little one he tests me, but I gotta catch myself because I feel like whooping him for every single thing or smacking his hand for every single thing. That's not the way to do it. So before she feel the need to put her hand on my kid, we as adults, and it can be a phone conference, it could be in person, or it could be me whooping your ass. But we gonna talk about it, and you're not gonna put your hands on my kids until we have an understanding of what that stipulates. But as long as we're on the same page of discipline, I'm not gonna be mad at you. If you whoop their hind part, and it's rightfully so, like I wouldn't get mad.
Okay, and then this is what I'm trying to get at, and I don't get too carried away on emotionally charged towards that aspect. I want you to focus on this. If and I'm going off based on what y'all telling me. So if these things are true factors, then is it really about the marriage or is it about the understanding that you have, the three of you have, as far as when it comes to disciplining the kids? Because it seems like the marriage certificate thing is taking the back seat and it's really about the understanding that you have versus, okay, because like I said, I asked what if they was married, but then in her, I'm almost done. I said, what if they was married? And then in her situation, she was, the father was married, but apparently then come on a little bit later after that, that didn't really matter in no way because there was a greater problem. So how big of a weight does it really hold with the marriage thing?
The marriage is everything. That part is
That's
what
not
gives
what
you
y'all
the right or
said.
not the right.
That's not what you
can
just
have
said.
it.
You didn't just
This
say
is what
that.
I said if they're not married, she can't touch my kids at all. Because if you just got this is your girlfriend right now, you might have another girlfriend next week. You got another girlfriend a
Might have
couple
another
weeks later.
wife. Might have another wife.
True. But marrying somebody and knowing the man that I had kids with, and that's just me, I don't feel like he about to have no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wives. Like, and that my viewpoint might change if he comes to that, and I might be like, look, hey, none of these hoes touch my kids. But if it's just some girlfriend shit,
Why they gotta be
then
hoes?
I mean, I'm saying if you just go running through, then they hoes. Like, I'm sorry. Like if you running through a whole bunch of bitches every other week, then they hoes. And you are too. You know what I mean? But if it's just girlfriend, then no, you have no rights because there's no ties to say that you're going to be around for the long haul. The marriage is what makes me feel like, okay.
Wait, say that last part again about ties for the long haul.
If you're just girlfriend, boyfriend, there's nothing that solidifies any longevity.
And you think that a marriage solidifies longevity?
So what I feel about
That's what
marriage,
it's supposed to do.
Well, I didn't ask about what it's a lot of things where they're supposed to do something. What I'm asking Alicia is, do you think that solidifies it?
I feel like when you marry someone because you're taking vows and you say until death do us part, you saying everything that
Hold
vows
on.
entails.
I'm outnumbering this shit. I need the fellas in here.
It might fall through. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's going to say you're going to definitely be with that person. It's my second marriage. Let me remind you, because I've been married before. This is my second marriage. So I'm not one to say that it's going to make it so that it's forever. But that's the drawing board for me to say, okay, this person might be around for a while. He's really serious about this person. Because if you're going to stand on the altar and say, hey, to death do us part, whatever, that lets me know, okay, this ain't no side piece. This ain't no little chick that you just messing with for now. You're taking her seriously. She's taking you seriously. Y'all married now. You get to that point, now we can have a discussion. I'm going to let you discipline my child, but we need to be on the same page as like when me and Doug first had kids. When we first had Gabriella, we had different viewpoints. He's spoiled. Look, this man didn't get with him. He's spoiled, only child, whatever. He barely got hit. So we had to get on the same page. So when she comes into the equation, that third factor, I got to get an understanding with her too. So, yeah. The moderator don't left.
Again,
Hey, Bisa. Mm-hmm. Hey, Bisa. The question is, how do you feel about so if you in a relationship with somebody or whatever, not married, but you just dating somebody, how do you feel about disciplining like the kids in that equation, whether it be on their side, like him and his girl or whoever, girlfriend, marriage, whatever, or how you feel on your end, like how do you discipline the kids? What's your take on like we talking about spankings and discipline and things like that?
I don't feel like it is that person's. If the child's father is active in the child's life, then no, I don't feel like someone else should be disciplining her. And I'm a single parent mom. I was married previously, but that's just my take on it. I mean, to each their own, you know what I'm saying? And
Doesn't matter if they get married. Doesn't matter if they get married and are together for a long time. Doesn't matter.
okay, so take for instance, now my daughter's father is no, he didn't. Wait. He came down here. Noah! I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in VA. At my friend's house. So what I was saying was my daughter's father is getting married in October. That's fine and dandy. That has nothing to do with me. However, he knows that I'm crazy. And when it comes to my child, I might be sick, but I'm not dead. So therefore, if he's not the one disciplining her, then there should be nobody else touching my child. Not even raising their voice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's totally different.
After they get married.
No, not even after they get married.
Okay.
Because the person I communicate to is him. I don't communicate to her for nothing. We have nothing to do with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take. But everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? Some people they choose to be engaged with the parent's spouse or whatever, and blah blah blah. I'm not that type. I'm not that type.
I wouldn't necessarily be engaged in talking to that person, but I do know, especially as kids get older, my only reasoning behind it, like if they're married, and then I know that my kids might spend a good amount of time with the spouse and their dad not around, and if they're doing something wrong, like totally fucking wrong, I would want them to be corrected. And then even the daddy address it later. But if the like, because I know once again, I keep talking about my middle one. I love him to death, but my middle child, shit, one of y'all might be allowed to lay hands on him if it's still doing foolish. And I'm just being real because I'm like spread around.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a different stipulation. Y'all be having different parameters on this.
How you gonna jump
Right.
back in and say something?
Well, I ain't got no choice.
No,
I got
but-
things I gotta take care of here at the house that need
I'm
attending
just
to.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
I know, truth.
But yeah, I hear what you mean.
But what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying? I'm saying is like 1 minute they're like, well, at a minimum, it's like a prerequisite. They got to at least be married. But then that doesn't seem to be the actual deciding factor when it comes down to it. Because the marriage, and this is I was trying to prove how the marriage doesn't really make or break the fact of if a person is either going to have longevity or the skills or responsibility to properly discipline, or how you feel about discipline, you know, another person's child. So
and then too, you gotta take into consideration like if that person has kids, okay, you trying to discipline my child, but where's your kids? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have a problem with that. Okay.
Well, you're right, but you well, now let me play devil advocate on that. Let me play devil's advocate on that, Bisa. You got some people. Let me play devil's advocate on that though. There's some people with kids don't know how to discipline their kids. There's some people with kids. There's some people with kids don't know how to discipline the kids, and there's some people that don't have kids that are very good parents and know how to discipline kids. So, you know, like I said, I agree with what Alicia was saying about it's all about the scenario and the situation too. And that's why I say I don't think people should look at specific factors of, okay, marriage or not marriage or whatever. And like I said, I respect y'all's choice. If you say, hey, look, if y'all not married, no matter what, you don't meet that minimum requirement for me to even have this conversation with you. Okay, that is what it is. But I'm just saying.
But that's because that's the example that you gave. You gave in a relationship. Now, if we talking blanketed, like just discipline as a whole. If we're talking like as a mother, would I allow my child to be disciplined by somebody else other than me? Yes. Other than me and their father, yes, I would. But the question you gave was in a relationship, a mother and a father, and they split up and then they got kids. That's different. Because, like I said, if I bring Gabriel and Gavin over there to you, Slim, and these are the two boys, they act the fool, and you end up, I don't know your views on spanking, but if you say, hey, I put him in the corner or I whooped his ass, whatever, they 16 and you had to rough them up. Like, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily be mad at you because I know you, like, okay, I know you ain't just fucking abusing my kids. And that's the same like godparents. They got all of them got the same godparent. And I've seen like they godmama, she don't play. I mean, she ain't necessarily whoop their ass, but her method is a little bit different than me. She's more strict. And we bumped heads before in the sense of I'll move out the way and let her be godmama, but she'll move out the way and let me be mama when she knows I'm serious. She says I kind of baby the boys more. Whatever. And I wish she was on here to attest to what I'm telling you. But she'll say, I'm not doing that. You in my house. So if we at her house or if they're at her house, it's her rules because she got mama. Now she not beating the shit out of them, but it's certain stuff that she's not going to allow that I might allow. So it's different when you put it like blanketed